Herr Botschafter, vielen Dank übrigens und dem gesamten Team.
Many thanks, and a big thank you to the entire team of the Munich Security Conference for organizing this astounding conference. It is really it takes a year of hard work. Thank you very much for this excellent preparation. Ladies and gentlemen, Chancellor, a warm welcome to Bavaria. You can use the German language, the Bavarian language. I speak flawless German, by the way. We have been home to the Munich Security Conference for over 60 years, and it is the biggest conference, Munich Security Conference of all times. 115 countries, 60 heads of states and conference, 16 foreign ministers, 25 defense ministers, many generals, admirals, diplomats, and others, and many representatives of industry. We are pleased to have you in Germany and Bavaria. Bavaria is an excellent location in Germany, and that is true for Munich. We would be the 5th largest economy of Europe. We export a lot, and we are a close partner to the US. We have the largest troops exercise ground, Grafenböhr, and many American companies have their seats here. We export a lot. We are a high-tech hub, particularly for defense, air, and space. And a lot has happened here over the last weeks as well. And all this makes Bavaria a great place for this important conference, this speed dating of international policy, if you will. One of these questions that Mr. Ischinger mentioned rings particularly important to me. What about the relationship between the US and Europe? It would have been unthinkable to even have to consider this at one of these conferences. For me, it has always been a certainty that the US has a very clear course. They stand firmly with Europe and Germany. And in these days, this certainty is being challenged because challenges have been shifting. Everybody's trying to end the atrocious war in Ukraine, but that does not seem to be happening. And many Germans feel this uncertainty. What about the US? What about the Transatlantic band? Could we maybe live without it? Well, I can honestly say that I cannot imagine a world without this transatlantic bond, economically, militarily, in terms of our secret services, and so on. The Warsaw Pact was just a military alliance, but NATO is an alliance of values as well. And these values of free and liberal democracies are what brought us together. And these are values that we must defend, because they are not a mere relic of the past, but they are important for the future. And we strive to defend these values of freedom, democracy, and human rights all around the globe.
Ich bin dem Bundeskanzler sehr dankbar.
I am pleased that the Chancellor is able to keep working with the US, and he will go into greater detail shortly. We want to be friends, we want to be partners, but we do not want to be subordinates to the US. And we were surprised and maybe a little hurt that our contribution, our mission in Afghanistan, where we lost the lives of many of our soldiers, that this contribution is not being recognized. We stood by the United States and we paid the highest price, and I believe it would be appropriate to respect this, to respect the sacrifice that our forces made in Afghanistan.
Wackelt die Beziehung? Gibt es eine Beziehungsstelle?
So, is this relationship in crisis, or at least going through tough times? Well, sometimes relationships do. Or should we maybe try to press the reset button? I am convinced that we Europeans have a contribution to make, and it is the time to do that now, to make Europe stronger militarily, economically. And we in Germany want to make an important contribution. Maybe we can reduce our red tape and become a bit freer and therefore a bit stronger. That's one part of the puzzle. But what's the other part? I don't think we can go it alone. But I also believe that the Americans will be happy without the Europeans in the long run. You know, sometimes you have a crisis in your relationship and you think, maybe I'll move out and I'll start over. But often, after some time, you come back because you miss what you had. So maybe we can strike a deal. Maybe we can become a little better, you can become a little friendlier. We will accept your leadership, but maybe you pay us some more respect, a little more appreciation, and maybe you can recognize our interests as what they are, which is understandable. I grew up next to a hospital of the US forces, and I've always felt very, very close to the Americans. And of course, I want to keep saying that I love Bavarian beer. That's my favorite. But if in doubt, I prefer whiskey to vodka.